Hi everyone, it's Rebecca from New Hampshire Knits, and I am coming to you from a different room in my house. I finally got my guest room set up and all my yarn stuff moved in here, so I figured I would record from here, and there's slightly better lighting. I have a new not a person, I have a new thing to introduce you to. This is Teddy. Hi Teddy. Teddy's our new kitty cat. He will be 6 months old this week, and he is a monster of a cat. Yeah, you're a monster. So anyway, he'll be running around, I'm sure. And my husband is home, so hopefully that means the dogs won't bark so much this time. And I think I got this working. Hello. I know I thought I did last time and then I didn't, but whatever. I also, a couple housekeeping things. I have decided that these videos will be quarterly. So it's too hard for me to do them more often than that. And this past year, it's just seemed to work out that way. So I figure what it will be is a recap of the previous season's knits and my plans for the future, the next season. So this is going to be a recap of summer, and then I'll talk about my plans for fall. And I probably won't do a lot of editing on this video, but I am going to try to figure out how to edit. I don't have a MacBook anymore that I can use for these videos, and I now have to figure out a different software to use. I know I can use Canva, but I don't know how, so I have to learn, blah, blah, blah. So I got to figure out how to do that. And once I do, I will try to edit a little bit more, at least have the pictures of what I'm talking about be here. But today, I don't think that's a possibility. What else? That's Remy. Say hi, Remy. Yeah, that's Remy. I guess we'll just jump into it. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah. Okay. So last time we spoke, I was finishing the something tea. Oh, we are not prepared as usual. Ravelry. What is this top called? Projects. Aha, the Florencia by Claudia Quintanilla of Unit Toronto. So I finished that. Ta-da! Is this the front? Yes, this is the front. It doesn't have short rows in the back, so it doesn't really matter which is the front. I've decided to make this the front because the way the yarn pooled here, I don't like this chunk of pink right there. It goes right across my bust. So I've been wearing it this way. It's just a simple raglan tee, but with this little eyelet triangle pattern, which is very, very cute. And this yarn is Valley Yarn's Huntington Splash in the color Caribbean Sea. And it is, it's just a sock yarn. So it's a merino, 75% merino, 25% nylon. And yeah, it was fun to knit. It was pretty easy to memorize. And the only thing I will say, and this is just a fit thing for me, is these sleeves are, they're not capped sleeves, but they're pretty darn close. Oh, and I need to sew that hole up. But they, it's almost like a cap sleeve on me, and it's just not a look I love. So I've been considering taking out the ribbing and just doing a couple more inches of sleeve, just so it is more comfortable for me to wear. And that's just because I'm self-conscious of my arms. So, but other than that, this was a great pattern. I really, really loved it. I think I would make it again. So this is the Florencia top. And that is my first FO. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, so sorry. Okay, next. Oh, so then I made a bunch of scrunchies. This is a free pattern. I don't think I even put it in Ravelry. Oh, by the way, if you're new here, welcome. Hi. I put a link to my Ravelry projects down below. So all of the information is there. But I don't think I actually put the scrunchie pattern. Okay, so it's the Soho Scrunchie by Tori Yu, and I'm pretty sure it's a free pattern. Here's the on Ravelry, that's what it looks like. And there's 3 sizes, so you can do different yarn weights. I made 3, but I gave 2 away, so this is, first of all, I love this, and typically I have very straight, oily hair, so ponytails do fall out pretty quickly for me. This one I just did, so hopefully we're okay. Also, it's an elastic, so whatever. But this actually stays in my hair really well. It's just a sock yarn. This is an amazing stash buster. So, you know, all of the stash yarns you have, you can just make scrunchies out of. And makes a great gift. Super easy. I mean, I did this in a night. You knit. I think you just knit like a triangle, and then you wrap it over a hair elastic and Kitchener it together. So there is a hair elastic in here, and depending on the size you want, it'll tell you how many stitches to cast on. This is the medium. I want to try the other sizes. I haven't done it yet. I made 3 mediums. Again, I did it in a night. I love this scrunchie. I love it so much. I wanted to wear it, but I wanted to show it to you. So yeah, so Soho Scrunchie by Tori Yu. I definitely want to make a whole bunch of them because I love them. And like I said, they make awesome gifts. Very cute. Dogs. Then, okay. So this one was a little controversial to my knit group. Oh, before I go on, I got a new coffee mug for my birthday. Yes, I turned 44 2 weeks ago. And this was my present to me from Starbucks. It was cute. I wanted it. So, anyway. So, there are 10, maybe 11 people going to Rhinebeck from my knitting group. I planned a trip for everyone, and I have made, if you've been here a while, you might know that I usually make something to wear to Rhinebeck. It's not always the Andrea Mowry Rhinebeck sweater. I have done it a couple times in the past. I did the throwback cardigan 2018. And then last year, a few of us went to Rhinebeck from the knit group, and we did that quilty looking thing. And I kind of came to the realization that I don't love Andrea Mowry sweaters. Like, they look good, but I don't end up loving them. And I think that's okay to say because, one, it's my opinion. I like Andrea Mowry. I think she's fantastic, and I think she's very talented, but I don't always end up loving the things I make. And I often end up giving them away. I did keep my throwback sweater because it's a great sweater to wear around the house, but that's because at the time I was a much larger size, so now it's a really oversized cardigan, but it's very comfy and warm. Anyway, long story short, I had no intention of making the Andrea Mowry sweater this year. I considered maybe making something special, but then I thought maybe I'll just do a shawl because I always end up getting hot. If you've been to Rhinebeck, like, yes, it's in the middle of October, but for some reason, it always gets so hot. I mean, I think I've been going for almost 10 years now, and once it was cold and rainy. Oh, and then COVID, we didn't go at all, obviously. But I always get hot. Anyway, long story short, I already said that. I know I'm all over the place right now. So Andrea Mowry released the Rhinebeck sweater, and I'm sure you've all seen it, but if you haven't, it's called the Ooey Gooey, and it's a round yoke colorwork cardigan. Let me get a picture. Is that the picture? I want a closer picture. Here we go. And this frustrated me because I did not want to make an Andrea Mowry Rhinebeck sweater this year. I didn't want to. But she released it, and first of all, I love doing stranded color work. It's like my favorite thing to do. And round yoke, love, one of my favorite fits for me. And the one she made was really pretty, and I knew I already had in my stash some colors that were very similar. And it was just sort of this perfect storm situation where I was like, I could do that. I don't even need to buy the yarn. I have the yarn. Okay, so I made it. Ta-da! This is my ooey gooey. Ooey gooey. You can see how pretty. I did enjoy knitting this. Again, I have to, I think, close up some little holes. Can you stop? Thank you. But yeah, this was, I love the pattern. And one of the things in the pattern, if you haven't looked at it yourself, there's these little welts. And I've never made welts before. And this was really fun to make. It took a little while, but it was really, really fun to make. You basically just knit however many rows you're supposed to knit, and then you like knit them together, and they make little welts, and they're on the sleeve as well. I thought that was such a cute touch, and I really enjoyed doing that. So let's get into the details. I did make a couple changes to the sleeve, but I'll get to that. Let me tell you about the yarn. So this yarn is, what is it? Okay, so the main color, this darker purple, is Lana Grossa Cool Merino in the colorway 2. So it's just a purple, and it's kind of a heathered purple, which I really like. And it's funny because in the ball it didn't look quite so heathered, but when I was knitting it up, it did, and I love that. I love a heathered yarn. And then this is 2 yarns held together. So the sweater is supposed to be done in sport weight, and I didn't have a sport weight, but close enough. This is a DK, but I got gauge. And then my contrast color is a fingering weight held with a lace weight. So I had a skein of Ba Yarns Footloose in their March 2024 colorway, and a couple skeins of the Lane de Nord Cash Silk Light. which is a cashmere silk blend, not merino, not merino, mohair. I love the look of mohair, but it is a little itchy. I'm not super um, sensitive to wools and stuff, but can be a little itchy. So when I saw this cashmere, it was awesome. Super expensive though, so definitely not something I would do often. But I had it because I was going to do, I think it was an Anne Wenzel pattern, and I wanted to do the color work in this combination, but I didn't end up doing it. I don't remember why, but I didn't end up doing it. So this was just sitting in my stash for like a year, and so when I saw the pattern, I was like, wow, there we go. And then I got gauge out of that. My gauge was, here's the weirdest thing ever. My gauge was a little bit bigger with the fingering and cashmere than it was with the DK. I thought that was interesting. But I swatched it and I absolutely loved the color combination, and it's just perfect. So that's what we did. Okay, so the changes I made are minor. One of them was accidental. So I decided I wanted to do a twisted rib for the hem, for the neckline, I mean. I just like the way a twisted rib looks with my knitting better than a regular rib. So I did that. And then, of course, I didn't read through the entire pattern because why would I? And so I got to the short rows, and you're working the short rows back and forth flat, and I really struggle to do twisted rib flat. It's just, it doesn't matter that I've been knitting for like 20 years. I can't do it. So the short rows were supposed to be done in the ribbing, and I did not do that because I couldn't figure it out. So I just did them in stockinette. Not a big deal. The only thing is that you have the welts right up against the ribbing in the front, which looks really nice, and in the back you have this space, so it looks a little different. I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's in the back, so I can't even see it. So that was the first thing I did. And then the other thing I did, I was looking through everyone else's projects, and there was one project where they turned it into a balloon sleeve, and I love a balloon sleeve. So I'm wearing one right now. So I did that. So what I did was I did not make any decreases until the bottom, and then I wanted the welts to be part of the cuff. I just felt like that would look nice given that it was a balloon. I thought the welts might look weird on the balloon part. Maybe not, but I thought they would. So I knit to the end of the stranded color work, and then I did all the decreases, and then I did the welts, and I did half of the amount of ribbing for the cuffs, because I made this part of the cuff. So this is my cuff, not just this, it just looks like it. So that was the change I made, and I'm very happy with it. I like the way it looks. It's not, it looks pretty obvious when I'm holding it, but when I'm wearing it, it's not that dramatic. I wish it was a little more dramatic, but whatever. And it came out, well, before I blocked it, it was like a bracelet length. So it's a little bit longer, but I like it. I like it. It looks good. Yeah, so I've been waiting to wear this to Rhinebeck. Of course, I'm going to be hot, so. Okay, so FO number 3, Ooey Gooey by Andrea Mowry. Look how pretty. So I did not mention though, the Cash Silk Light lace weight was a lavender color. so it does give this a little more of a lavender look. But I love it. I love this combo so much. And I have a little bit more left to make a scrunchie. Yay. All right. Moving on. So the next thing is my cousin's getting married this weekend, and I wanted to make a shawl to go with my dress. So I'm wearing a navy dress and red shoes. So I decided to go with a red shawl. And this is the Kyler by Isabel Kramer. Let's see if I have a picture. Yep, here we go. So that's the pattern. And she used a much more rustic yarn. And I used a, what did I use? Oh, I used Knitting for Olive Merino in Red Currant. And so mine is a little less rustic looking, but that's what I wanted. It's perfect. I love this shawl. It's huge, so let me do my best to hold it up. I think I want to hold it this way. So it's got this, you start up here and you do this lace pattern, and then when you get this far, this wide, you continue the lace, but you add in stockinette. Wow. Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that, but that's what it's like to live with a boxer. Anyway, keep going. This thing is gigantic. And then at the bottom, the hem is like ribbing and then a row of the lace. Well, a repeat of the lace and then more ribbing. And I think it's just a regular bind off. Yeah, not a fancy bind off, just a regular bind off. But I did it with like a needle that was 3 sizes bigger, so it would stretch. And yeah, I absolutely adore this. I finished it last week. It's so big. But yeah, this wedding is on a little island off the coast of Portland, Maine. And it will be chilly in the evening, so it'll be nice to have a shawl. And I'm very, very excited to wear it. And then I also thought, like, I have other things in my closet that this would look nice with, so it won't be like a one-time wear that only goes with one dress or one outfit. So I'm excited to wear this, but I am not wearing it until the wedding for the first time, so it's nice and freshly blocked. So that's that. That's the Kyler shawl. And then I think I showed this last time it was a whip last time, but I decided to make another what's it called? Hedge witch. The Hedge Witch is by Nat Red Wolf, which is, she also goes by Wolf and Fawn Knits. So this is the pattern on Ravelry. And it has this really pretty texture. And I made one almost exactly in these colors years ago, and it's one of my favorite shawls, especially in the winter. It's super warm. And I made it in Good Karma Farm wool alpaca. I can't talk today. And back in March, I was at the Wayland Farmers Market Fiber Days, and Good Karma was there, and I decided to buy some yarn and make another one. and I finished it yesterday. So I'm gonna block it later today. I have not gotten around to blocking it, but here it is. Very different colors than my first one. But this is, so like I said, a Good Karma Farm wool alpaca worsted weight. This is undertow. This color is called undertow. And what is the other color? The other color is slumber. And that's this gold color. It's much more gold looking in person, but whatever. So it's this really cool textured pattern. Looks almost like scales when you look at it in person. I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Looks more like scales. So I've been calling this my mermaid witch shawl. And then you do a little garter and a little bit more of the texture and a little more garter. And then you bind off with an I-cord bind off. So it's really a bit heavy and thick and warm, very, very warm. Because like I said, I already have a shawl, this same yarn, same pattern, just different colors. And it, like I said, is one of my most favorite shawls to wear when it's cold out. So I'm very excited to block this. Again, it's already huge, but it's going to be more huge. And yeah, it's going to be nice. So also for my cousin's wedding, I was just thinking about this morning. Excuse me. So Friday night, oh, there's wool in my mouth. Friday night, they're having a party that's like a Indian themed party. The man she's marrying is of Indian descent, and so they're throwing a party Friday night before the wedding, and there'll be Indian cuisine, which I love. It's like my favorite cuisine, and the dress code is Indian fashion or colorful. And I bought this super cute dress, which I don't have here in front of me, or a picture, of course, go figure. But it's basically, oh, I forget what it's called. I think it's a kurta. But it's like a dress that you wear pants under. But mine is like, it's like a red floral on top with some gold sequined trim, and then from the waist, it's like an empire waist down, it's like the same floral but different colors. So it's like pink, red, orange, teal, all the way around. And I was thinking how I made the red shawl for Saturday night for the actual wedding, and it's going to be chilly in Maine. And I thought this is actually perfect because it's very colorful and my dress has teal and gold in it. So I am definitely going to bring this with me to the Friday night party. And I think that'll be nice. And my husband's also going to wear, well, he doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to tell him to wear he has a teal polo. I think would look really nice on him, and it would match. All right, so that said, we have only a few more minutes left because I have to go to a doctor's appointment. But we want to talk about whips and fall. So I only have 2 whips. I ordered yarn for one of the whips, and as I was waiting for that to arrive, I cast on a different sweater. So you may be familiar with this. This is the King Salmon by Caitlin Hunter. How cute. So she also has the halibut, and this is the King Salmon. And I bought the yarn to make this back in May. So I go to the Web's tent sale and stock up on yarn because I get such good deals. So I bought these 2 yarns specifically to make this sweater. So it's the Valley Yarns Northampton, which is just their regular 100% wool worsted weight. And this is dark olive hunter. And this is light gray. And I cast on my yoke. It looks a little small, but I think it'll be okay. Ta-da! Wait, it's curling up a little. But like, how cute. And watching the little fish emerge has been super fun. Look at his little fin coming out. I love this so much. So, like, it's really small. I'm kind of worried. It is on a small needle, though, to be fair. I went with the size. Sorry if I am muffling this microphone. I went with the size that it was recommended, and the size was the teeny tiniest bit bigger than I normally would go for, but I did it anyway. And then my gauge is slightly off, so I think I'll end up with a sweater that fits the way I want it to. It's just a stranded colorwork round yoke, which is my favorite. I know that the yoke is a little bit deep, and some people have complained about the way that fits. I do like a dolman or a batwing, so I think that it's not quite that extreme, and it's not intended to be, but because I do like that, it might be okay. But I just love the pattern so much. It's so cute. I don't even eat fish, but I just think, or fish, or do anything with fish. I don't even like the water, but I love the salmon. So that's my first whip. And then the second one that I had ordered the yarn for is, you have seen this before. I am nothing if not a creature of habit. But I am doing another Monday suit by Petite Knit. And the yarn is Sanisgarn Baby Wool Lynette, which is basically a fingering weight superwash merino. And this is the one I did last time. And my husband's cousin is having a baby, and I'm going to see them in October for another cousin's wedding. And so they don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl. So I picked out this pistachio color yarn. Here's the yarn. And I just cast it on last night. So this pattern is so cute and super easy. But you knit it flat until you get to, I think, the waist, and then you knit it together. I've made two of them already and I can't even remember, but that's his little tiny neck. So cute. But that's it. That's all I have to show. And this probably will take a week. This goes pretty quick, and it's fun and it's cute, and I really, really like that. So, and it's done on size 3s, which is not super tiny for a fingering weight baby thing. And yeah, that's it. So this will be a Monday suit by Petite Knit, and I will show it to you next time. All right, so that's that for that. So obviously my fall starts today. Happy fall. Autumnal Equinox in the Northern Hemisphere is today. And so the fall knitting plans include the Monday suit and the King Salmon sweater. But I also would like to make the Lulu Slipover by Petite Knit, which is this one. And it buttons right there. Very, very cute. So I also bought yarn for this. I have the Debbie Bliss Cashmerino DK, and then I couldn't find it, but not a big deal. I also have a silk mohair from Valley Yarns in basically this exact same color. So I will be doing the Lulu Slipover in this. and this is the color is just 04. This does not have a name. 04, and it is 55% wool, 33% acrylic. I did not realize that, but okay, and 12% cashmere. So, yay. And then I want to make the Moby sweater. I have been wanting to make the Moby sweater forever. And that's also petite knit, and that's this one. And I was watching Knee Knits, and she did the Moby sweater also in Valley Yarns Northampton, which is the wool, and she did it in this color Ocean Heather, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I also bought the Ocean Heather, and I will make the Moby sweater. And then the last thing on my list is the August cardigan, which I already made one in blue, but I'd like to make another one. So this is the August cardigan by Joanna Garish. And and I grabbed some of this from the Joanne going out of business sale, and it's knit premium yarn, knit crochet, blah blah blah. It's 100% superwash merino fine wool. I didn't even know you could get 100% superwash merino at Joann's, and I got 12 balls of this. It's peacock feather. It is very green. It's coming out a little bit more peacocky blue, but it is definitely more green in person. Excuse me. Yeah, so I got these for like almost free. It was like the second to last day that Joann's was even open, so things were like 90% off. It was crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So those are my plans for the fall, and we'll see if I get it all done. A lot of this transitions into winter as well, but I do have some more sweaters on the docket for winter, and we will talk about those next time. But I will be at Rhinebeck, so if you see me around, say hi. And I will be on the hunt for some yarn for a winter sweater that I have planned. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and you can follow me on Instagram. I will put the link below as well, so you can see more of my stuff in real time. And then I will be back again at the winter solstice. Have a good fall. Bye.